Hello, everyone. Welcome back to a bit of a review episode. I just played this game, and you can see that I won it. So spoilers. And I meant to be recording the whole time. I provided this lovely analysis, as I always do. I chit chatted about how things are going. Told you guys to try the new Portal 2 mod, Portal Reloaded, if you're into that. It's a great community supported mod or supplied mod created. Just one guy, I guess, created it. Uh, for the 10-year anniversary of Portal 2. It's really good and it's free. So if you like Portal, you should try it. I tried to do a video series of it, but I screwed up and recorded the whole thing with no game sound, or at least most of it with no game sound. And I got frustrated and didn't go back over it. But anyway, I played this game and I thought I was recording the whole time, and I totally wasn't because there's some confusion at the beginning of the recording when I played a game against a guy and he just immediately aborted the match. And I was like, okay, I'll stop the recording, start a new one. But I guess I only did the stop step. I hit start, and I thought I looked and saw that I was recording, but I guess I wasn't. Anyway, so I guess we'll do a quick review of this, and then maybe do a couple puzzles, and it'll be a short episode. And I won't show you Stockfish's opinions of the game yet. But I thought it was a quite good game by me. I was happy with it. So my opponent tried this wacky thing called the Owen defense. And whenever my opponent doesn't take center, I'm just like, all right, I'll take more. So I did. And then I was like, oh, e4 is actually getting a little bit awkward, isn't it? Like, I defended it with the bishop, but they pile up, and now it's like, if I like push it, which I kind of wanted to do, they're gonna get this because I've just devoted the bishop, taken away the bishop, right, and then soon my rook. So I ended up playing the knight here. The more natural move is this, knight to c3. But I was afraid that the point of their opening was to play c5 and trade a wing pawn for a center pawn. And I wanted to have c3 available in case they did that to reinforce my d pawn. Now, according to Stockfish, you don't have to, like, that's not really what's going on at all. But that's why I made this kind of awkward knight move to defend instead of the natural one. It got in my bishop's way, and I wasn't super happy about it. But this pawn is the focus of attention and worth devoting a piece to. After that, I kind of got developed and brought a rook over to defend. And I had this idea here of, like, inconveniencing the knight by attacking him, like so. At some point, now that this is so defended, they can't, like... Suppose I got several moves in a row. I would have liked, here... Well, okay. Let's give me no moves in a row first. I want to go here, takes. The knight is attacked, and send him back home to really inconvenience the black king. However, I saw that the knight can get to here or here. And I really didn't want him getting to here. I didn't want to provoke the knight to move to g4, which is a pretty great square for him. So I said, let's first firm up control of that. And then my idea was to make some knight move. I hadn't really thought about the details of what knight move, but unveiling the queen's support of these squares. So that then when this happens, the knight has to go all the way home. There are multiple problems with this plan, but that was part of my idea with this. And this is actually Stockfish says this is a totally fine move. As good as any other. Just stopping this in general. It's not actually really lining up anything for this like attack that I had in mind, but just stopping the knight getting here is cool. And I went in for this attack, and here's another problem with my plan, is the knight can go here, right? I didn't notice that at all, because it was defended, right? But not after I moved the pawn. Now, this is my worst move of the game, according to Stockfish. I tried investigating why. I couldn't really get it to explain. It says you should go here, bishop e4. It's sort of inconveniencing the black minor pieces and setting up some like x-ray maybe with the queen against their queen or something. This allows knight here, getting into a pretty good spot that kind of is awkward for me to do anything. Oh no, then he can go home, right? Or go to back to safety. But they didn't do that. Instead, a pawn was exchanged, and then they blundered the knight, and that was their worst move of the game. And I didn't notice it right away, but after a bit, I did indeed grab the free knight. And after this pawn move, I said, oh, let's just attack the knight. This is a way to force off some material. They can't defend the knight a second time. It's attacked twice and defended only once. And they can get a second defender in with the bishop, I guess. But if they do, I still get to trade off, a piece, which is what I want. I'm up a knight. That seems good to do. And it also puts their bishop into kind of a pin because, yes, the queen is defended, but they don't want to trade queens. However, instead they tried this counterattack, which I think is the wrong idea. Because I can now actually force some pieces to be traded with my queen. And in the end, I'm somehow up a pawn? Oh yeah, because this pawn was captured and didn't take any of my pawns. So the rook came into the open file, very natural. I considered defending, but I didn't want to make things awkward for my bishop. I kind of wanted to back him up anyway, so I did that. And they chased me away, but I was planning to move anyway. And this pawn move, I think, was trying to induce pawn takes, bishop takes, attacking my pawn and x-raying the rook. That wouldn't be the end of the world for me. I could just push. But then this pawn becomes a bit of a liability, maybe, for something like this. So instead I said, no, I refuse. I will not take. Instead, I'll just threaten to get some pieces off. They ducked, and I said, great, let's get this pawn structure a bit better. And an important thing to notice is, what are the two key files in this game? The C file and the D file right now. I have the C file, pretty well stopped by just having a well-defended pawn here. And the D file I've actually got, in addition to having a rook on, my minor pieces and my pawns are doing a great job of controlling it. There's really no way for the enemy rooks to invade on the D file, which I think is important. I don't know, for what it's worth, this is double supported. And if the pawn is captured, my bishop will be guarding. So, I have it well handled. And I don't think this can be broken apart so easily. Even if pawn push, I don't budge. Takes. This pawn is still here, and the bishop's still guarding it, so... Now they tried king here. Oh, I missed right. This was something I noticed very shortly after making this move. I said, let's defend the pawn and defend the D file. The D5 square is the one I don't have yet. But what I should have done was notice that I can fork the bishops. Both bishops can't be defended with a single move. So I would be winning a piece here. I lose a pawn. And their rook gets to attack a bishop as well. But I win two bishops in the end, and they get a pawn and a bishop. So it definitely would be better for me to do this. On the other hand, it does make things a bit awkward to have a rook on your second rank, and I'm up enough that I maybe don't need to cash in, to grab material if I can avoid an awkward rook invader. So I tried taking here, the idea being to threaten this, to try to distract their bishop. And then I did distract their bishop, and I didn't think about I should go here. This is another thing I noticed only shortly after making my move. I said, they're attacking this, how clever. But I always wanted to double up anyway, and this doubles up intentionally, defending the pawn. Well, what I should have done was fork and win the bishop. This way I don't even get a rook on my invading either. But they gave me another chance, so I finally took it. They grabbed the pawn, I don't care. Bring rooks onto the 7th rank. And I was thinking, they spent some time on this move, and I was thinking, what do I do next? What I wanted to do was get this bishop involved. but the knight's in the way. And so my thought was, oh, also I wanted to pile up on this square. So my thought was bishop here. Um, this attacks the bishop and kind of x-rays this pawn. So if the bishop moves, I win the pawn. And if the bishop trades, I have two attackers on this pawn, and I've gotten rid of the bishop. And my knight has moved forward, so my bishop can go here. It all seemed very nice. And then they just, like, put a pawn on the square I was going to move to anyway, so I did. And at this point, the computer says... In fact, we might as well get the computer on at this point. The computer says we have mate in 5. And this gives me mate in 3. And I spotted it. I found the mate in 3. I was like, there's got to be something. This was an important square for the king to escape to. Surely I can now, like, harass him over here into this kind of area where there'll be too many rooks for him to deal with. It's, my thought at first was maybe I can, like, because what I'd like to do is get this rook to, like, move over here, and that would be checkmate, right? But I can't do that without moving this one. So at first I was like, okay, maybe there's something where, like, he goes here, and then we, like, bring this rook over, but, like, I couldn't get him to go this way. And if I do this, anytime I, like, go here, the king can just go there, right? So I couldn't quite wedge him up against his rook, which is what I wanted to do. But instead I spotted something that does work, which is rook here, knight here, check, controlling this square, and also this square. So now the king has to move here, and then either rook move. Either rook c7 is checkmate, and I tried this one. So there you go, and the computer thought I did very well. It was just that one inaccuracy, my worst move of the game. My opponent made just one blunder, which, after which the game was over. One mistake, which was not taking advantage of my inaccuracy. And then some inaccuracies. So there you go. That was a game that I meant to play on camera but didn't. Let's do, I don't know, a puzzle. This check seems pretty forceful. It forces king here. But then what? Check and win the bishop, I guess? That seems pretty cool. Okay. Wait, that doesn't win the bishop. Pawn can take. Was this right only by luck? Oh. Check the king here? Is that anything? No, wait, bring in the other knight. No, this is still weak. Check. I mean, it is very forceful. The king must go here. But then what? Oh my god, then we win the rook. Alright, I lucked out on this one. Oh, come on, let me take the rook. Alright, whatever. So I lucked out here. I thought I was winning the bishop, but I guess I was playing all the moves that force exactly one response. And then I noticed just in time that what I was aiming for doesn't do anything. Alright, good puzzle. A tough one, right? I mean, 4 moves to win a rook? And it's kind of funny. It's like all the way on the other side of the board. You have to move a rook to 8 in order to win a rook on b2. Amazing. Oh, let's thumbs up the. Oh, no one wrote attraction. Clearly attraction. We were attracting the king. All the way from h7 to f4. Well, my queen is under attack. That's obviously something to think about. We can push it all the way to the back rank, but what does that accomplish? I guess we get this? So, like, check. This is the only reasonable move. And then, rook check. What does this accomplish? Where can the king go? He has to go to the back rank, I suppose. But so what? Doesn't seem like that really does anything. What about reversing the order? Take here first. That looks promising. Because now, where's the king gonna go? If he goes to the back rank, we have queen here, and the rook can't defend. So here, and the king has to go to the back rank unless the rook takes. So here, rook takes. Now queen here. We win the rook back. We're up a pawn, and the king has only one legal move here. After which, I'm not sure. Maybe queen here? I'm not sure what that accomplishes, but it gets my rook in, maybe? Oh, maybe I just bring the rook in right away instead of bringing the queen down. Yeah, because then I can win the rook. Or actually, do I win checkmate? No, I win the queen. The queen has to come in. So check. King has no legal moves. So the queen has to take. Well, that's not winning anything. The bishop's guarding this after I take it. Oh, well, right, but it's winning a queen for a rook. So we should look at this, but I don't think it works. Maybe it does. The king, I mean, they can block with the queen, and then we get this anyway. Or the king could move to the back rank somewhere. I don't know. I think this is more straightforward. Ah, I meant to click here. So why is this so great? Oh, because now we can bring a rook in to the back rank as the king moves back there. I see. So then what's wrong with this? Oh, we don't win this. I thought I had more defenders on this square. Right. It's after the it's not queen goes here and then rook takes. It's rook here and then queen takes. Of course, that's horrible. Yeah, that's why we have to take here. If say king here, I mean this is checkmate, right? So king here, we have this. Queen blocks, and then we win the queen. Uh, Not even like trading a queen for a rook. We just win the queen because we get the rook back in the end. Okay, you got me on that one. I'm immediately tempted by this, but not for any good reason. I don't think there's any way I can like check and win the queen afterwards. So there's like it's a pin, cool, right? But I think what we want to do is check and then take this pin. Because like after check, if king here, we have rook check, which seems very good. We win the queen that way. And so if instead rook blocks, we get this. And win the queen that way. And lastly, if queen blocks, I think we go for this, right? The queen is pinned, so the king has to move to this file. Say here. Check again. And if the king tries to come forward, then we checkmate him. I think this works. Oh, I could just take this, I guess. But if there's a checkmate, I should find that, right? So what about check here? If king here, I guess this won't be checkmate because the queen's there. Or wouldn't even be any, it wouldn't be doing any better than winning a piece, I think. So I can just take this immediately, but it feels like there should be something better. I don't know, all this seems just like delayed winning the queen. Or this takes. Do I have some follow-up that lets me scoop up the rook for free eventually? Check. Queen can't move. It has to be the king. I don't know. All of this, like, allows the opponent to trade queen for rook anyway. So I think I should just take the queen. Okay. So why are all the other moves bad? That's what I want. So, like, check, right? And then check again was my idea. Oh, we can't get the queen anymore. Yeah, I was noticing the opponent can trade queen for rook if they want, but they have other options. That's why I proved why those other lines couldn't be best, but I didn't prove why they were worse. Which I guess is good enough. If they're at least as bad as this line, you should take this line. All right, let's do like a puzzle rush and get out, or puzzle storm and get out of here. Maybe two. I hit a new record at some point, by the way, 28. Very very pleased with myself. I'm white. I guess we should go for the checkmate, huh? Again? Checkmate? Checkmate? It's a dovetail there. Check. Yeah, this should be checkmate, right? With the pawn. Checkmate. Seen that one enough times to finally start recognizing it. Checkmate. Check. Does this do something? Not really. Oh yeah, it does. It wins the rook. Check and win the queen. What's even hanging here? This guy? I don't see anything here. Ah, check and win the knight that way. Got it. I want to play the queen over here somewhere, but it doesn't work. Plus, my king is in Scary Town. Push? Doesn't really seem very good. Take, threatening this? I'm lost. Obviously, I would get a better score if I just played a bad move here, but I'd like to try to actually solve them. Oh, here and then something? Win the rook. Oh, and checkmate. I see. This'll do, I think. Check to draw the king forward and then mate him. This check has got to be something. Nope. Check. I guess this is winning because I had the pawn. Okay. Check. Mate. This check takes. Okay. Not quite sure why I had to do it that way. I see. Skewer the major pieces. Well, this would be a check. Is that good? Apparently. I mean, it wins a piece, obviously, but so does rook takes. Check. Yeah. All right, pretty horrible score. I don't know, it's not horrible, but I like to get in the 20s when I can. So what did I miss? Oh, not that one. We know what was wrong there. What did I miss here? I tried this check, just thinking it must be good, but there's also this check. Oh, which is a checkmate, in fact. No, the knight can block. Ah, but then... Well, this doesn't quite work, does it? King can duck. Ah, but then rook takes. I see. So it's a mate in 3? Okay. All right. One more. We can do it. I'm black. Win the queen. Checkmate. Check and take the queen. Oh. Oh, I guess it's just an easy checkmate. Okay. I was worried I was going to have to do some weird rook nonsense. Check, take the rook, defending my bishop. Check, and then the king's in the corner. Checkmate. Look at that. Those major pieces can't help you now, king. Check and win the queen. Check, take the rook, and then we can probably promote, I guess. Check and take the rook. Check. And then take this. Seems too easy. Huh. Pin the queen. Check. And then we win the bishop. Not check. Takes, rather. Uh-oh. Oh, I was supposed to take back with the knight. Take here and then grab the dangling bishop. This looks good. Okay, I'll just play it, I guess, in that case. Here? I want to annoy the king, but this also works. What's the difference? Ah, I want to be able to attack that square after. Check. And win the queen. The pawn was pinned is why we can do that. Uh, check and then here, I guess? Okay, they block with queen, so we win the queen instead. Take? No, grab the rook first, and then take. My rook's in a bit of a pickle. So's my king? Takes? No, check. Checkmate, look at that. This doesn't seem like much, but maybe it is? Nope. 19. We're getting there. Alright, so we already saw what was wrong with this one. I was meant to take with the knight, not the pawn, to get him out of danger. And then this one, oh, why not just take with the pawn? And then we win the queen? Or, well, we get to trade for the queen. Alright, well, as long as we're improving, let's play another. I'm black. Rook here seems good enough. Promote with check and win the rook. Check and win the rook. Check and win the queen. Here? That seems good enough. Oh, not gonna make me play anymore, huh? Win the queen. Check and win the rook. I see. I was trying to attack the king a bit better, but I couldn't find it. Check. Yeah, and then mate on here, whatever square that is. Check and win the rook. This check. There is no check. I mean, there are checks. I can do this, but what exactly does this accomplish? Oof, this one's gonna hurt my time. Ah, check and win the bishop. There we go. Backwards queen moves. Tricky, tricky. Hang on, there's a bishop there. That's fine. You can have my queen. Check and take the queen. Check and take the rook. This must be good. There's a bishop there. Checkmate? What's going on here? These checks seem good. They seem important. But this one just draws the queen over, so that's probably bad. So check here, I guess? No. Win the queen. No. Check almost wins the queen, but there's this. Is there some way to stop that? Oh, it does win the queen because, yeah, we can just take it with the queen. Okay. All right, thank God. We're not improving anymore. I can quit. What happened on these puzzles? So I thought this check was something, but queen takes here, and like I don't know where it's going. I thought, oh, this is okay because my queen is guarding it. So here, king has to move, right? And then we get a discovery by moving the knight, and the queen gets to attack the king. We win the queen that way. Or, of course, they can just trade, which is simpler. But you have to be prepared for them to do something else. My opponent has too many queens. Check takes, I guess? Yeah. All right. Well, that's it for today. Hope you guys don't mind we didn't have any live games against an opponent today. That was just the best I could come up with after failing to record the whole thing. Anyway, hope you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.